the House of Windsor. Keepers of a throne, guardians of tradition, symbols of a nation's continuity.
That I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility.
And heirs to a legacy as fragile as the crown itself.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King! Hip hip!
Their story is one of duty, love and heartache.
I, William Arthur Philip Louis.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
To my wedded wife.
To my wedded wife.
On the long walk in Windsor, 2 brothers who have barely spoken a word in the last couple of years.
Meet the key figures of the most famous family in the world and understand what makes them royal, but human all the same. Princess Anne, the second child and the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, is known for her dedication to royal duties and charitable work. Born on August 15, 1950, she has carved out a distinct identity within the royal family. Anne is an accomplished equestrian, having competed in the Olympics and various international events. She also plays a significant role in numerous charities, focusing on areas like health, sports, and children's welfare. Her no-nonsense attitude and commitment to public service have earned her respect both in the UK and internationally. As a member of the royal family, she often undertakes official engagements, representing the monarchy with grace and professionalism. Royal titles are steeped in rich history, and the title of Princess Royal is particularly unique. The first to hold this title was Princess Mary in 1931, inspired by her mother, Queen Henrietta Maria, who wanted to emulate the French custom of referring to royal daughters as Madame Royale. The title is exclusively granted to the eldest daughter of the reigning sovereign and is retained for life, even after the monarch who bestowed it passes away. Before Princess Anne, the title was held by Princess Mary, the sister of King George VI. Upon her death in 1965, it remained unused for 22 years until Queen Elizabeth II conferred it upon her daughter, Princess Anne, in June 1987. While the title is honorary, it stands as the highest distinction awarded to a female member of the royal family.
No one exemplifies the traditional royal career better than Princess Anne, created Princess Royal this year in recognition of her tireless work for the Save the Children Fund. Her trip to the Far East was only the latest of several in a packed timetable that makes her one of the hardest working royals.
By royal standards, this was a remarkably informal occasion. The proud parents of the Princess Royal mingling with 500 guests from her favourite charities before the Queen gave this tribute.
I have been touched by the warmth of the appreciation that all these many friends and colleagues feel for your energy and dedication.
And although it was 3 months since the actual day, of course, there had to be a toast.
The Princess Royal.
While Princess Anne may be the hardest working member of the British royal family, she hasn't always been the most well-known. However, her popularity has surged in recent years, thanks in part to the hit Netflix series The Crown.
Has it changed your perceptions of the royals, your perception of Princess Anne?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really know anything about her, so I kind of got the call and I was like, okay, cool. And then I kind of went away and was like, oh wow, she's a real deal. She's this kind of royal rock star.
Erin Rachel Doherty, who plays Princess Anne in The Crown, showed her enthusiastic and genuine appreciation for Princess Anne and her work.
Love her. I think she's brilliant. I just think she's honest and she just has no time for... She just doesn't want to waste any time like lying or pretending that she feels a certain way, especially when I think there's such a kind of politeness that you have to abide by within her family that I think when it comes to her personal life, she's so strictly the opposite because she has no time for it, which is brilliant. I just think she's great.
What was Princess Anne's childhood like? She is the first daughter and second child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, born just a couple of years after her older brother, Prince Charles. With her younger brothers, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, arriving several years later, Princess Anne and Prince Charles formed a strong bond during their early years. When Princess Elizabeth ascended to the throne as Queen Elizabeth II in 1952, following the unexpected death of her father, King George VI, she faced immense responsibilities, including extensive global travel. This shift had a profound impact on their childhood, shaping their roles within the royal family.
Princess Elizabeth has agreed to accept the crown and rule as Queen.
From 1953 to 1954, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip embarked on the longest royal tour of their lives. At that time, it was unusual for young royals to participate in such extensive travels. As a result, the young prince and princess kept each other company during their parents' absence.
The shores of Australia slip slowly away from Gothic. This will be their last view of our Southland, possibly for some years to come. But the link, always there, which their visit has so immensely strengthened, will forever remain. As they sail back to their home and their children, our hearts go with them. They have had an exhausting tour, but have never ceased to smile. Our parting prayer is, Godspeed on your journey, good luck, good health, and will ye no come back again. God save the Queen.
At the end of their tour in 1954, Charles and his sister Anne embarked on the maiden voyage of the royal yacht Britannia, sailing from Portsmouth to Grand Harbour in Malta. From there, they continued on to meet Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip in Tobruk.
A scene of desert peace in 1954, a name deep carved in the memory of all our generation. A few miles away on the tarmac at El Adam, landed the aircraft bearing the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh from Uganda, and at anchor in the bay was the new royal yacht. But first, reigns over a scattered population of a little more than 1 million. Aboard Britannia were the royal children, whom Her Majesty and the Duke rejoined after saying goodbye to King Idris.
The royal family spent summer and Christmas holidays at Balmoral Castle and Sandringham, which developed Princess Anne's love of horseback riding. Princess Anne shared a particularly close bond with her father, Prince Philip, who admired her tough and resilient nature. Some reporters have even claimed that she was his favourite child. It is often suggested that Anne inherited his no-nonsense attitude and straightforward approach to life. Their strong connection was evident, and she became the only one of the Duke of Edinburgh and Queen Elizabeth's children to uphold Prince Philip's traditions with her own kids, after being unable to do so for herself. In 1963, Princess Anne made history by becoming the first British royal woman to attend school when she enrolled at Bunningen.
And what's your personal reaction to having the princess come here?
I think it is a very great honour for us, and I hope a great opportunity.
May I ask you finally about your own feelings on discipline? Suppose a girl does something that's against the rules, what happens to her?
It depends what the misdemeanour happens to be. We deal with such misdemeanours ad hoc. Usually talking to in the right way is all that is necessary. Otherwise, we deal with it according to what it is.
Have you ever expelled a girl?
Never so far.
The princess has been vocal about her time in boarding school, stating that boarding school has been demonised by some, when in fact it's a very important aspect to have available, and many children actually thrive in it. She left the school in 1986 with 6 GCSO levels and 2 A levels, and began to undertake royal engagements at the age of 18.
She said, you know, there's really only you and them, and that requires an awful lot of concentration. There are certain advantages in being lost in a class of...
Were you nervous? Were you nervous about going to public school? And
No, I think I did actually quite look forward to it, in many ways.
And how did they treat you? Was there any bullying done? I imagine there wasn't really, knowing you. Or at least being aware of you.
I wasn't that big a girl.
While Charles was attending university, Princess Anne accompanied her parents on a royal tour of New Zealand, Australia, and other Commonwealth countries. This marked a pivotal moment in strengthening the bond between the royal family and the public, as the Queen initiated a new tradition of royal tours. During these visits, royals would engage directly with the crowd, walking, talking, and shaking hands with people. Princess Anne was quickly finding her place in her royal duties, much like her mother and father before her. As the daughter of Queen Elizabeth, the young princess faced speculation about her future marriage, though the pressure was somewhat alleviated by the fact that her children would not inherit the throne. An avid rider and accomplished equestrian, she developed a deep affection for Olympic equestrian Richard Meade in her late teens or early 20s. Unfortunately, their romance was not meant to last. Reports from the Daily Express suggested that Prince Philip may have played a role in their separation, disapproving of the 12-year age difference between his daughter and Meade. Andrew Parker Bowles was also a love interest in Anne's love life. The complicated relationships between Anne, her brother Prince Charles, his future wife Camilla Shand, and her first husband Andrew Parker Bowles was a centerpiece of Netflix TV show The Crown Season 3, though it turns out it wasn't quite as dramatic as TV would have it seem. Princess Anne briefly dated Andrew Parker Bowles in 1970 before he married Camilla in 1973. The relationship wasn't serious, partially due to the fact that Parker Bowles is Catholic and could not technically marry the princess. In 1968, Princess Anne met Captain Phillips in Mexico City at an event. Their shared interest in horses, them both being accomplished equestrians, drew them closer, and they began dating shortly thereafter.
In the wedding service?
Well, for that reason, I think it's in the service. And perhaps because I'm rather an old-fashioned girl.
As the Dean said the other day, the Prince Anne says obey, and I have to say worship, so I think pays the money takes a choice.
On May 29, 1973, Captain Phillips proposed to the princess with a sapphire and diamond engagement ring.
When exactly, may I ask, did you decide that you were serious?
That is a difficult one. When it became mutual, I think it was even, well, I suppose after badminton. But can't speak for him or me, really.
Mr. Phillips, let me throw that one at you.
Yes, it was after badminton that we decided, really.
Has it been a great strain keeping it secret, and indeed keeping it away from people like ourselves?
I think it has, yes. It became rather a strain in the end.
You seem on the surface to be a very shy person. It's not every day one proposes to a princess. Did it require a lot of courage to propose?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think the fact that the girl in question is a princess makes any difference at all. I think if you get married to somebody, it's a very, very personal thing, and the two of you just feel it, and it's a completely natural.
I think you've got to be brave to propose to anybody, haven't you?
Yes. I don't think
I mean, perhaps it becomes relatively more important. But I rather hope that, I mean, every time he spoke to me or took me out, that he didn't actually think of me as a princess.
Do you think you'll make a good housewife? I mean, can you cook, for example?
Well, that's hardly up to me to say either.
Cook scrambled eggs, I think we can recommend this.
Yes, I mean, I've done a bit of cooking in my time.
Would you like to cook Captain Phillips' breakfast before he goes off to work, for example?
I can manage that. It's easy. Especially when he's eventing, because he's not going to get more than a cup of coffee.
When you were a teenager, did you have any idea of the sort of girl that you would like to marry?
No, no, I didn't. I wasn't very clever with girls, I don't think, when I was a teenager. I definitely was a bit, not very good. Not very successful, should I say.
Well, if you had not met a man whom you wanted to marry, do you think you would have married out of a sense of duty?
No way.
I'm glad you said that.
No, I don't think, no, heavens, no.
After announcing their engagement, the pair were asked, "Do you think the marriage can withstand the enormous pressures of public duty and publicity that you have to endure?" To which Anne replies, "Can't. It's got to, hasn't it?"
After lunch, Princess Anne flew by helicopter to keep a long-standing engagement at a riding school in the Buckinghamshire village of Radnage. She watched a riding demonstration by severely handicapped children. Princess is patron of the Riding for the Disabled Association. And to mark her engagement and her visit, pupils at the school have decided to christen the youngest foal, Anne, in her honour. Lieutenant Phillips' parents had returned to their village home in Wiltshire, where they spoke to Rory Macpherson.
How do you feel about it?
I'm absolutely delighted.
And how's your day gone today, sir?
Oh, I've rather enjoyed it. A nice, relaxed morning. Able to read the papers and until 12 o'clock when we were due at the palace for the official photographs. A more relaxed morning than I normally have, in fact.
When your son first brought Princess Anne back here, did you have any inkling that this might be the outcome?
None whatsoever.
And when did you, in fact, first know? When did they ask you?
Just after badminton.
This was the princess's first official job since her engagement, and it began rather damply as the handover of the Queen's flight appeared through the Berlin drizzle. The purpose of her trip is in her role as Colonel-in-Chief of the Worcestershire and Sherwood Foresters Regiment. Her host for the 4 days is Major General the Earl Cathcart, who is the commander of the British sector of Berlin. The military flavour of the affair underlines in some ways the anachronism of this city, where life seems to have been stopped still and deep frozen since 1945 at the end of the Second World War. And the military idea was displayed in massive style at the princess's first duty, which was to take the salute at a trooping the colour ceremony for the Queen's birthday. She was wearing a turquoise coat and ornate turban for the occasion, and she looked a bit pale as she moved towards the dais. The garden party that followed took place in front of another Hitlerian edifice. The princess was on familiar ground here, exercising her skill at chatting people up, the skill being that the chat should not be too short, not too long.
Princess Anne was the first of her royal siblings to marry, tying the knot with Captain Mark Phillips at Westminster Abbey in a televised ceremony that captivated an audience of around 500 million viewers worldwide. Approximately 1,500 guests attended the celebration.
Mark Antony Peter, wilt thou have this woman to thy wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other, keep thee only unto her as long as ye both shall live?
I will.
Anne Elizabeth Alice Louise, wilt thou have this man to thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou obey him and serve him, love, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other, keep thee only unto him, so long as ye both shall live?
I will.
I pronounce that they be man and wife together, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Princess Anne wore an elegant, high-necked white gown with long trumpet sleeves and an impressive 7-foot train. Atop her beautiful updo rested the same tiara that her mother, Queen Elizabeth, had worn at her own wedding in 1947.
Last coach on the last stage of its journey through the forecourt and right into the centre courtyard of the palace. This really is coming home for the moment. Buckingham Palace really must be home to them all. And it comes into that central courtyard. We're looking at it through the glass window of the grand entrance. That entrance which must be so familiar to many people who've attended the garden party. 2 postilions first, now the coach itself, 4 grade. There's the red carpet leading up the flight of staircase into the marble hall. Mr. Shoal reins in carefully. Footman bow, open the doors, Captain Mark Phillips, and now, welcome home, Princess Anne.
She completed her look with a bouquet of white roses and stunning diamond cluster earrings. The first child of Princess Anne and Phillips, Peter was born on November 15, 1977.
With the temperature just above freezing, Princess Anne came out. But instead of stopping on the steps for a moment for the large crowd, as she had promised, she just had a few quick words with the hospital staff. Nurse Zora Ahroff held Paddington Bear, a hospital mascot. 2-day-old Master Phillips was carried out by Sister Delphine Stevens, the midwife who was present at the birth. Well wrapped up against the cold, he was handed to the princess, who, ignoring normal advice, sat with her son in the front seat of the car. And off the couple went to Buckingham Palace for lunch. They'll be staying there until they move to their new home in Gloucestershire.
The second child, Zara Tyndall, the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, was born on the 15th of May, 1981 in London.
The hospital was under tight security today, with pressmen and well-wishers kept well back from the entrance. In fact, it was hospital staff who found themselves with the best view. Before leaving, the princess stopped to thank the midwives and staff. Captain Phillips, hidden behind the nurses, leant forward and gave his daughter a rather bemused smile. The princess, joking with the nurses, said, "She's quiet, isn't she?" a reference to the fact that the new baby hadn't given her much time to sleep over the weekend.
In August 1989, the Princess Royal and Phillips announced their intention to separate, as the marriage had been under strain for a number of years. The couple had rarely been seen in public together, and both were romantically linked with other people. Princess Anne remarried in 1992 to Vice Admiral Sir Timothy Lawrence. Anne and Timothy tied the knot on December 12, 1992, in a small and private ceremony held at Crathy Kirk in Scotland. As of 2024, the couple are still married and celebrated their 31st wedding anniversary in December 2023. In conclusion, Princess Anne's legacy is one of tireless service, resilience, and a strong sense of duty. Her contributions to society and the royal family will be remembered as she continues to inspire future generations with her unwavering commitment to her roles.